Hello, LilyKatchum video. Today we're going to take a look at another team for the current Sunshine Cup. We're going to have the Chesnaught here, but we're not running the standard moveset. You know it already if you can read. We're going to run a Smack Down on this Pokemon, which is going to allow us to trap in those Talonflames. And honestly, I did not really put the games here in a specific order in order to like showcase it better, but this is literally the perfect example in the beginning. Sadly, Smack Down got a bit of a nerf, which allows us not to farm them down in the zero shield scenario anymore if they want to swap into us. We have to use always one shield if you want to fully farm them down, but it's going to be okay. As you're going to see here, we are able to align ourselves. We had our horrible lead. We have now the complete control over this game, especially as we have a hard answer to the opponent still in the back, as you have a double grass team here. Of course, again, it's just like the main idea behind this team is try to bait out the opponent's Talonflame with a say-swap and then sweep endgame with the Superior. And as you're gonna see here, the opponent has no way of winning this battle there. There's literally nothing that they can do here anymore. Again, sadly, I have to say, as I said already in the last battle, lag is ridiculous right now. Like, be careful out there. It is a madness. I have never seen such a bad period of lag. In the last, I think, like 40 games that I played so far, I lost at least 10 of them through lag. And that is a ridiculous rate, so like I don't know what is happening. And I saw like people saying, oh yeah, it's through the entire season. I know there were issues, but I have never had such impactful issues as I had the last 2 like days basically. And so definitely be careful out there, especially here as well when you try to win some battles in the Sunshine Cup. We're going to have here a great lead force and a great say-swap. I'm a bit worried though with this kind of team, because a lot of times you're going to have something like the opponent's Chesnaught in the back. This would be a bit tricky for us. Opponent's Chesnaught is most likely the worst possible lead that we could encounter as well for this team, as you're going to have a double weakness to Chesnaught with our Pokemon Elite and other Pokemon as a say-swap, as Smack Down Chesnaught is worse against Chesnaught as the Wind-Up Chesnaught. There were a lot of Chesnaughts in that sentence, but that's going to be okay. What is also going to be okay is the matchup here against Talonflame. We still use a shield here just in case they're going to go for the Brave Bird. And yes, I know it is a bit of a risky play. If they would have the Pokemon that I expect in the back, it would be a very bad play as well. But they're going to have in the back here the Flygon. We're going to get 1 shield. And we need to get another shield here as well, which we are going to be hopefully able to do here with that drill run. Now we just have to get to 1 superpower. And that is all we need to knock them out here, as the opponent is quite squishy. Superpower is a hard hitting move. I can take easily a hit. And what we're going to do next is just try to press on the superpower here. The superpower is ready. I pressed onto it for the CMP tile. We use a shield and we can win the battle now, right? How is the opponent able to swap out and still get a fast move through here? There is no way that is possible. Like, it was a CMP tie, it was literally a CMP tie, but you saw as well already, there was a 1-turn frame drop there basically, directly while I was clicking on that CMP tie there, and it just didn't work out. It is just ridiculous. Lost the game just because of that. And so we should have been 2-0 here now, but we're not, and so we can move on to the next Pokemon, which is going to be the Shadow Piloswine. That is going to be great for us, as you're going to see here now the Dunsparce coming in. The opponent is going to be able to swap out into this Pokemon, which is okay for us, because again, we're going to have the Chesnaught in the back. And while this matchup is not as ideal as it was before, it's still a very positive matchup for us, as we're going to be able to resist every single hit from the opponent. Drill Run is barely doing any damage, and we have Smackdown, which is not ideal as well, because we are not doing as much damage or like as much energy generation there as well, compared to the Wind-Whip. But it's still going to be fine here, as you're still going to be able to tank those hits. We're going to try our best to get as much energy as possible. We're very likely still going to be forced to go for a charge move though, yeah, which we are definitely going to do here, just in case the opponent has a move stored, which they would do at this point. And so we're going to have 2 Frenzy Plants stored, and the opponent is going to go back into that Piloswine. We can go for the superpower, which going to drop our defense a bit, which makes it less farm for the opponent. And we still have some energy on that Dunsparce, which we are going to now unleash against the opponent's Quagsire. But this looks really good for us, because again, we can just overfarm by a bit, get up to a drill run, farm them down here now with our Superior, and we would win the battle. Next opponent is going to have Diggersby. That's not going to be an ideal matchup for me, but I can swap out straight away into my Chesnaught, and they swap out into the Girafarig. I make a bit of a mistake here. I should have went straight for the superpower there. I think I wasted 1 turn there basically with that. If I went straight for the superpower, I would have been able to knock them out in time, or like at least get like the shield from them in time before they can go for their own charge move. So that was a bit of a silly play by me, and definitely a little bit of an impactful one most likely as well, because having a shield advantage now would have been very, very good for me, as we will see very likely that the Superior has some importance to it, as we have the shield not coming up here. We're gonna get the knockout. We're gonna see the swap out now into the Digger Speed. They go for the Fire Punch. And imagine I still had another shield left. That would have been lovely here. Fire Punch is coming through. We decide to use a shield. And it's going to be the Dunsparce in the back, which is usually a very good matchup. There's some more lag there as well, which makes it very awkward to try to time fast moves and charge moves. But we're still going to be in a spot where we would be able to win the battle if we had one more shield left. But it is what it is. The opponent goes for a no shield. We have some more lag. The opponent gets a free fast move in, because why not? Like, it is just mad. Like, it is just so infuriating that, like, why does it always happen the entire time? I still try my best. The opponent is going to be able to go ahead and go for the Fire Punch. We have some more lag coming in as well. And, like, you see the lag only, like, in a short sequence there. Like, for me, like, every battle here is times 1.8, which means for me, like, the frame drops are way longer than what you see on the screen here right now. But we still have a win con here. If the opponent decides to go ahead and tries to go for the full farmer, I can still go for a drill run. I'll win the battle. And I die on the charge move, so that is great. The opponents usually get the charge move through in those situations against me, but I never get them through myself. So that is great. And yeah, we're going to lose the battle now. Nothing I can do. And we can move on to the next opponent. But it's honestly just like so annoying at this point. We're going to have Talonflame in the lead. That's going to be great for us. I swap out into the Credilli. I can overfarm by a bit and just swap out now with the Rock-Side Stored, so we can punish later on the opponent with that. We're going to see the Credilli now going up against our Superior. Superior going to be able to take 2 Rock-Sides from the opponent. We're going to see 1 Frenzy Plant coming through. This is going to be enough to get them low into the deep red health. And we still going to try to go for the full farm now here against the opponent. Letting the move go through. We should be able to survive it. I just have to hope that we don't need to use a shield here. But we do, and that is quite unfortunate. So maybe it was not worth it what we did there. I guess that was definitely not the case. And so yeah, they're gonna be able to go back into their Talonflame, but I will be able to go for 1 Rock Slide and also with that underline the switch clock. Yes, the opponent gonna swap out straight away basically here as well, and it would have been cool to go even to the Chesnaught. But basically we know now the team from the opponent, and we're also going to be able to hopefully swap out before the opponent can do it, because they still have like the 10-second delay there, which is going to be very good for us. Alcotale coming through, we can still maybe even take another one, but we have to try to get up to another charge move afterwards as well. Let's see what the opponent gonna do. They're gonna go ahead and go for a charge move here, but we're gonna have our grass type against the opponent's Quagsire, and now we can go ahead and try to unleash my Chesnaught. Chesnaught is going to be fine against the opponent's Quagsire, but also we're going to have Smack Down, of course, against the Talonflame, which is going to be great. The opponent tries to go for a Stone Shear, doing some very solid damage, but look at the damage output as well from Smack Down, as we can go for the double resisted hit. It is still going to do some decent damage. I should went for the superpower here, doing a bit more, but yeah, it is going to be fine anyway, as you can roll out them down and win the battle. Horrible lead against us. Like, that's basically the worst possible Pokemon that you can encounter. So we swap out into our own Chesnaught, see what the opponent wants to do. Just let the move go through. Like that, just let the move go through. The opponent might swap out afterwards into like something like a Talonflame or whatever. I don't know what they want to do. They swap out into the Licky, which I was very confused about, because now, yeah, we can just go ahead and go for the superpower. Superpower is going to be great in order to get some damage onto them. And this one is going to be enough now to knock them out if they want to use no shield here. And they do exactly this, allowing us to align ourselves, which are going to allow us as well here now to go into our Superior. And so let's see what we're going to try to do here. We're going to use maybe a shield. Yeah, we're going to use a shield straight away against a potential superpower. It is going to be the superpower. I'm going to go for the aerial ace. It's going to be a CMP tie. They can go for the charge move here. It's not going to do too much damage. It's going to be already debuff damage anyway. And so switch clock again is going to be very much unaligned. We have 3 charge moves already coming through. So basically one more fast move, charge move here as well. We would be able to swap out. They're going to go into the Dunsparce. I'm forced to overfarm by a bit, but again, the lag was kind of a little bit annoying there. As we will see the Frenzy Plant connecting, we can swap out into our own Dunsparce. Having the fast moves aligned like this, allowing us to get a free fast move in. This is going to be very important. Drill Run is coming through, and we should put the opponent kind of into range where one more Drill Run would be enough to knock them out. Let's see if this is going to be enough. I think he still might just barely survive here. Let's see on how this is going to go. Drill Run is going to come through. It is going to be able to get them into the deep red health, and yes, Chesnaught is coming in here, as we will see the Frenzy Plant connecting. We can go for the aerial ace. That will knock them out if they let the move go through, and I don't think they can. And so yeah, they decide to use a shield. If we're still trying our best to go for another aerial ace, we are going to be forced to use a shield here though, as the Frenzy Plant actually coming through here. Going to still allow us though to go for another charge move. The opponent decides to forfeit the battle anyway. So, we're going to have Flygon in the lead. Flygon can be a bit of a tricky Pokemon in general for this meta. Like, this Pokemon is very, very strong in the current meta. Would imagine that we're going to see more Fairy-type Pokemon coming up as well. There are not really a lot of great Fairy-type Pokemon because I think there are actually only 2 available. I think it's just, okay, 3 available. There's Whimsicott, it is the Shiinotic, and it's going to be the Wigglytuff. Like, those 3 Pokemon should be available right now as Fairy-type Pokemon. Maybe there's like 1 or 2 more. I don't think there's a Ground-type Fairy. There's only really Wigglytuff as a Normal-type Fairy. There is no Fire Fairy at all, I think, in Pokemon. And I think, yeah, Grass Fairy is the other one, yeah, of course, with the Whimsicott and this one. So I think that is basically all it. I think they're only like those 2 Fairy lines kind of that you really want to run. And so, yeah, there are not really a lot of Grass-type Pokemon currently available. Anyway, we're going to see the Aerials coming through here. We're going to be able to knock them out. In comes the opponent's Talonflame just to, yeah, see the Flygon here. They're going to be able to do too much damage with their fast move, and so we can just forfeit the battle. There's nothing I can do to win this one. Next one, we're going to have a horrible lead again. We can swap out again. I think the last time we won the battles... Oh, actually, maybe we didn't. We'll see here the Oranguru coming in, though. Oranguru is going to be one of those Pokemon that is going to be quite decent in the meta. There's next to no answer to Psychic-type Pokemon right now, which you might be going to take a look in a video as well. Like, Confusion is really free in this meta. There are no Dark-type Pokemon other than, like, Eradicate, I guess. And so it is a super free to run double Confusion strategy right now. And so, yeah, it does make sense to see some Orangurus here. What we're going to see as well is going to be the Trailblaze doing some solid damage, boosting up their own attack. And I don't think this drill run is going to be enough. I think we still need another hit afterwards. And yes, we're going to see some farm down potentially, at least from the what's called Superior here, but still not going to be enough, sadly, as we have to use a shield. And in comes the Clodsire, which makes it all a bit more awkward. The Clodsire has only access to like Stone Edge usually in this cup, which you kind of need to have in order to one-shot the opponent's Talonflames. So it is a bit of a better matchup for us, because Stone Edge is now the most common move in the Open Great League and also in the Play Pokemon tournament. It's a way more common to see Sludge Bomb now, mainly also because of the pacing on the Pokemon, in order to just get like some damage off if they have like a certain amount of energy or whatever. Like, you need a little bit more energy to go for the Stone Edge. I think exactly 5 more energy compared to Sludge Bomb. And so, yeah, definitely does make sense to see those changes, but here sadly we're going to lose this battle, as they're also running Smack Down. That's going to be a very good lead for us, but they swap out into the Flygon, and we don't really have a great Flygon answer. Again, there are not really a lot of good Flygon answers. You have only a limited amount of Ice-type Pokemon as well. For example, Piloswine, which you saw already, Abomasnow, which you saw already, and that is nearly basically it. Like, you have like only Ground, Normal. I don't think there's a normal Ice-type at all again in the game. Ground, we had Piloswine already, which is the best one. Maybe I actually think it's the only one as well. For Fire and Ice, there is none. Actually, there is the Zen mode Darmanitan there in the Galarian form that is Fire and Ice as the only Pokemon that has that typing. But it's not available in Pokemon Go yet, or most likely ever. And yeah, that is basically it for it as well. I don't think there's really anything else. So it's a bit tricky to have Ice-type Pokemon currently, other than Ice and Grass and Ice and Ground for this meta. And so yeah, it's definitely very free to also go for the what's called Flygon in this kind of capacity. We're going to see also the new Shadow Obstagoon, which I already showcased on the channel as well. If you haven't seen this one, the link is going to be in the end card. Definitely check out that video, as we will go for the superpower against the opponent here. Going to see the opponent's Abomasnow coming back in, and as you will see as well, we're going to be able to let the move go through. It's going to be the Icy Wind, and they're actually going to be able to win the Steampeter here, which I thought would be already a Steampeter before, but I guess I was just wrong about it. Could be the case. In this case, I'm not too sure on how things are. And as you can see here, the Rock Slide is coming through, going to get the knockout against the opponent. We can win this battle. Quagsire. Quagsire is going to be a matchup again, which we don't really want to face there, and we're going to see the Jumpluff swapping in against us. And you might think, oh yeah, Fast Move is doing so much damage, that's going to be great. Here you see kind of the opposite side of it. If it's not Talonflame, it is really not doing a lot of damage against Flying-type Pokemon. Of course, Smack Down got nerfed, mainly because they want to nerf Bastion, which I made a video about as well. It didn't really work out too much for them. But yeah, that Pokemon definitely got a bit nerfed with a Smack Down. And so yeah, against Flying-type Pokemon, it's not going to do too much damage, but also you have to see that Jumpluff is one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the game right now, and it is definitely very, very much visible. Anyway, we're going to see here the opponent is going to be able to go up into their dance boss. We're going to get the Frenzy Plant off. Frenzy Plant is going to do a ton of damage against them. This is going to do more than half of them. And we're going to try our best, I think, to go for Aerial Ace at this point. Because what we kind of really want to do here is we kind of just want to get some damage onto them. And we still have 2 shields onto the opponent's side. And so, yeah, this is going to be definitely a bit of an awkward one. We're gonna try to swap out there, but as you can see there again, the opponent got benefited by some 1-turn lag, or like I think it was actually 2-turn lag, because they went for 1 fast move, which is 3 turns. I went for 1 fast move, which is 2 turns, and I still were able to get the knockout the rock side off before I can even either swap or go for any new fast move, which is ridiculous. So like they got a 2-turn fast move extra there for me, which is, I don't really understand. Like, honestly, I don't really understand on why the game all of a sudden is like so insanely broken. This might actually lose us the battle as well here, because we were not able to swap out. And so the opponent is going to have now the Quagsire against us. We're going to be able to go for the dry run. Our only hope here is that we can farm them down still with the Vine Whip, but you have to swap out for that first, because they would be able to farm us down otherwise. And yes, we get this swap out in here. The opponent goes for the charge move. They have 1 HP, and we're going to be barely able to win the last battle, which we nearly lost again through lag. And this is going to be it for this video. Lag is definitely there. It is really annoying, but yeah, hopefully you still enjoyed this one, and if I see you then, bye bye.